Hello guys, I am B. Sai Srinivas of 10th class from Mathman. Today I will explain today's editorial, so let's get started. So today our editorial's title is Code Red. IPCC's warning on climate points to a small window of opportunity that still exists. The IPCC has issued arguably its strongest warning yet on impending catastrophe from unmitigated global warming caused by human activity, lending scientific credence to the argument that rising wildfires, heat waves, extreme rainfall, and floods witnessed in the recent times are all strongly influenced by the changing climate. In a stark report on the physical science basis of climate change, contributed for a broader assessment report of the UN, other greenhouse gases, and a move to net zero emissions as the world would otherwise exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius of warming during the 21st century with permanent consequences. More than 5 years after the Paris Agreement was concluded, there is no consensus on raising ambition to reduce emissions, making access to low carbon technologies easier and adequately finding mitigation and adaptation. COVID-19 had unexpected effect of marginally and temporarily depressing emission. The IPCC's analysis presents scenarios of large-scale collapse of climate system that future leaders would find virtually impossible to manage. Heat waves and heavy rainfall events experienced with increasing frequency and intensity are just two of these. While disruptions to the global water cycle pose a more unpredictable threat, also, if emissions continue to rise, oceans and land, two important sinks, and other latter a key of India's climate action plan, would be greatly weakened in their ability to absorb atmospheric carbon dioxide. So, guys, IPCC is an association that manages the disasters and the climate changes. So, it had given a strong warning to all the countries. So, you see here that many disasters are going to happen from the uncontrolled global warming that is being caused by human activity. So, giving scientific belief to the argument is the increase in wildfires, heat waves, and extreme rainfall and floods that we experienced in the recent times are all the effects of the changing climate. In a sad report on the physical science of climate change had contributed to a broader assessment report of the UN. The IPCC's Group 1 has called for deep cuts in carbon dioxide. They want all the countries to decrease their carbon and greenhouse gas emissions, or otherwise the world temperature would exceed by 1.5% to 2%. So this would happen in the 21st century, and the later consequences of that are uncontrollable by the future leaders. Paris Agreement was done 5 years ago, but since then there was no consensus or arrangement on the raising issues to reduce the carbon emission. So some of the ways are gaining access to low carbon emitting technology, and also easily and inadequately funding the mitigating groups. So those groups are the ones that help in controlling the emissions of the gases. The analysis of the association presents some cases of large-scale collapse of the climate system. So the leaders of the next generation couldn't even imagine to manage them. Heat waves and rainfalls are some of the events experienced with increasing frequency and intensity. They are just two of the reasons. Disruption of global water cycle will pose a huge threat to mankind, because the freshwater resources will be depleted and the level of ocean will rise. It would lead to the submersion of land, and after that there will nothing but water. So if I go further, climate change is described by many as a far greater threat to humanity than COVID-19, because it has many irreversible impacts. The latest report is bound to strengthen the criticism that leaders in many countries have stonewalled and avoided moving away from coal and other fossil fuels, while even those who promise to act fail to influence the multilateral system. The new report attributes catastrophic events to be sustained global warming, particularly the frequency and intensity of hot extremes, marine heat waves, heavy precipitation, agricultural and ecological droughts, proportion of intense tropical cyclones, reduction in Arctic sea ice, snow cover, and permafrost. A phenomena such as heavy rainfall over land, for instance, could be 10.5% wetter in a world warmer by 1.5% and occur 1.5% more compared to the 1850 to 1900 period. That's it, guys.